is! That fella that looks a bit like Jesus, banging on about drugs and alcohol. It is that very man. But I'm not Jesus. I'm Nathan. It's recovery month. And I will be, unless you've missed some vital part of this whole process, I'll be speaking to you every day for the entire of September, with each day representing a year that I use substances in. There will be a little bit of a gap, because we're 3 years short. Still thinking about what to do with those 3 days, but I can rest assured it will be entertaining. It better be. I'll think of something. So, what is the year? Well, it's 2011. What happened in 2011, Nath? The year that we're in. I can tell you that there was the earthquake in Japan. Remember the underwater earthquake that caused that huge tsunami that then hit the Fukushima nuclear plants, or the worst thing that had happened since Chernobyl. 16,000 people died during that. 16,000. I think you'll forgive me for not lingering too long, as if the subject matter of this crippling illness isn't serious enough. I think we'll probably skip past any great detail on that one. We had the Arab Spring. What was the Arab Spring, Nath? What was the Arab Spring? The Arab Spring was where a load of people did a great thing in the Middle East. They stood up and said to the relevant governments, no, we think what you're doing is a load of old nonsense. We don't agree with it. Good thing to do sometimes. As the people in the Tottenham riots also did, in a way that I don't agree with, which is by aggressive or violent means. The Tottenham riots, I am a believer in peaceful protest and not doing as you're told. If you don't agree with something, we are all human, we are all equal, no one is more important than the other person or has got a divine right to tell you what to do. That's just a fact. Learn it, heed that well. But that was just a sign of the times, wasn't it? Sign of the times. We're not happy. They just started stealing material stuff. Give us more material stuff that we need. And it really was a zeitgeist of the time. Following on from that, very similar. It's all moving in the same direction as the Occupy Wall Street movement started. So they were, making the point about the distribution of wealth. It's a point that a very small percentage of people own a vast majority or percentage of the entire wealth on the planet. It's a point that's been made far better by other people than me, and I'll let them do it. But it is bloody ridiculous, to be honest. We had, I'd like to stick to a theme, if you've noticed. Richard Branson has gone into making the first commercial spaceport. This whole commercial space travel thing's really kicking on, and I completely missed it. What were you doing at that time, Nathan? Sober and abstinent, I take it? No, I wasn't. I was all over the shop. And this took me by surprise. 2011. Kate and Will got married. Do you remember? I thought didn't think it was that long ago. 2011. Shows you, time flies, doesn't it, Nathan? Are you going to start banging on about the brevity of life and death again? Not just yet. I'm guaranteed I'll return to that thorny subject at some point. Sorry, what have I been up to today? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's school for me at the moment, isn't it? Me dealing with the tricky subject of school. Before we go any further, I'm knackered. Absolutely pooped. I looked in the mirror this afternoon, trying to stoke the fires of engagement and enthusiasm desperately, as I'm enjoying this course, and it's always nice to appear as if you're heeding the words of the tutor and actually engaging in what they're saying. But I looked in the mirror, look, I've been exhumed. Oh, good Christ. It worse for wear, eh? Pyjamas in bed for you tonight, young man. Which I will be doing. So, started off, I thought we'd had problems with Pepper yesterday, didn't we? Pepper Pot. She's featuring very heavily in these vlogs at the moment because you know, we go on the same train, come back on the same train, get off at the same stop, get on at the same stop, and it's hard to ignore the girl. Trust me, it's hard to ignore her. Ye gads. But I sent her a text when she said, for Christ's sake, now after this 5 alarm ruse she tried to pull over me. I've set 5, missed 5 alarms. And then she got all defensive this morning. I did set those 5. I'll show you. I kind of believe it. When someone gets angry, you can sense there's a sense of injustice. Maybe she did set 5 alarms. Maybe she didn't. We'll never know. But anyway, I sent her a text, very touching text. Get up. That was the first. Rolled across this morning. Get up. Put a couple of kisses after that. I don't mind sending a couple of kisses to anyone. Fancy me sending you a kiss? Let me know. I don't know how you'd let me know, but let me know. Sent her a text, she sent one back saying, I'm up. And then instead of hitting the X, she hit the Z. The irony of it. I can imagine her first thing in the morning. Anyway, made my way to the bus, you know, I'm bored with the details of the bus, etc. Did my usual routine. Really enjoying going, commuting. I used to do all the time, don't do it anymore since my life has changed direction, but commuting at least part of the way with the shimmering jewel at the bottom of a turquoise sea that is this mother half. So I'm travelling with her, which is lovely. We get a chance to have a little bit of a chat and set each other up for the day. Off you go, have a lovely time. So did that, made our way to the course, met up with a couple of other friends. I was in one of those things this morning where I wanted silence. I wanted silence. No one else did. They wanted to talk at volume about anything. I was just there. So try not to look miserable, but also heed what they're saying partially. Yes, look out the window. So we got there. Met Oates and Spidey. You know, one day maybe you'll pass them in a crowd. You'll never know it. But met up with the gang. One bit of the gang met another bit of the gang, and then we had one big gang. And strangely how things happen. Me and Oates were talking about the original Rehab crew, and one of the guys, will remain nameless. I do my level best not to mention anyone's name by any great detail. You probably noticed, but there was a guy there, very close friend of ours, one of the original team. We haven't been able to get a hold of him. That always, you start to think, I know what I'd do. The first thing I did at the peak of drinking or using was don't contact anyone, because they'll try and stop you doing what you want to do or think you want to do. But we finally managed to get hold of him, and to cut a long story short, I was talking to him on the phone. He relapsed. It's always upsetting. Well, it's upsetting. It's a funny feeling when you bonded that closely with someone. Upsetting probably doesn't quite justify it. Or explain it properly. It's a weird feeling. I can't quite put my finger on it, no matter how verbose I was on the subject. But yeah, it is what it is. The important thing is that I had to address again today is the subject of relapse, and it's one that needs to be addressed head on, I would suggest, because it's a reality of this illness. I think some infinitesimally small percentage of people after leaving rehab actually remain abstinent from that moment onwards and don't relapse. I think someone banded around the figure 3% to me. In that case, we've got a duty of care, have we not, to consider the huge percent, the 97% of people who are going to go back. And I've been banging the drum very loudly over the course of the last 21 days, I think, in the importance that I believe firmly that we need to get our heads around. This is an illness. Treat it like one. Even the people who've got it don't treat it like that. It's like, I've made this horrendous mistake and it's all my fault and I decided to drink a bottle of Russian Proof at 5 in the morning. No, We've got to get it clear in our own heads if we're going to deliver the message to anyone else. I come from, as you know, a predominantly sales background. You need to believe in the thing you're selling if you're going to sell it. It's the same thing, it's kind of the same thing. So you wouldn't say to someone, you wouldn't say to a lot of people, "Oh God, he's only got ill again. Has he got ill again? Oh, we'll allow him to be ill the one. We'll allow him to be ill the one time. We're not going to allow him to. We're not going to allow him to be ill again." God, how thoughtless of him. Don't put him back into hospital. He doesn't deserve it. No. So we had a good chat with him. He was a little bit worse for wear. Me and Oates let him know that we tried signposting him in the right direction. Have you on a course at the moment, Nathan? Yes, I am. Tried signposting him in the right direction, but he's a mate as well, so it won't just stop at that. A little bit of a difference. He's a friend, and we'll try and help the crazy swine out if we can. So we're going to try and meet him or get to a meeting with him, because the last thing I want him feeling, the last thing anyone needs to feel in life, and particularly addiction, is alone. We are not solitary creatures. We are pack animals. We live in communities. It is part of our nature. And any attempts, not saying you don't spend time alone. Yes, of course I like time alone. I'm alone right now, talking to you. But we are, as I said, we are predominantly hang around in packs, don't we? And that's where we feel most comfortable. So we're going to let him know he's not alone. We're going to get out. We're going to get out to see him when we can. I've got a pretty full schedule at the moment, so just around a logistical point, we'll have to work that out. But I'm going to be speaking to him and texting him in the meantime. But it really brought into focus again today that subject of relapse. And the first person who really sparked this off in my head actually was the person who asked me to do this. A lady called Ali, who asked me to come up with this fantastic idea. He's been speaking for 6 hours now. He's still not shut up. I wish I'd never asked him. God, blow, he's taken too far. But she was really passionate about this, about the subject of relapse, and about, she put it as not shooting our wounded. Very important. And I made that point. You wouldn't say, "Oh, you're not ill again, don't shoot." Wherever you want to point of this is, if you play around with people who relapse, if you cast them aside, if you look down on them, you look down at someone who's got ill again, you are playing a very dangerous game. Very dangerous. That's my point. Nathan, calm down, for God's sake. So that was it. I feel quite passionate about it because, he's a mate and it's close to home, isn't it? It's close to home. No, you don't like to think of anyone being back in that situation when you've been there yourself. It's hell. So that was that. Moving on, back into, you had that wonderful thing this afternoon. Moving on to the subject about this wonderful thing we was doing the course this afternoon. The lovely Justine probably doesn't watch his old nonsense. She's brilliant, like she does. But I look like I've been exhumed. Other people it was that moment where you get tired people being taught by tired people. Just actually looks at me at one point. I was desperately trying to write this thing down, come up with this original idea about this subject. I'm not particularly good at drawing, so I had to haphazardly draw these pictures of things I wanted to represent. And she's all put it. She looks at me and goes, "Can you not just put another? Can you put another sentence at the bottom?" I want to appear enthusiastic, but not too enthusiastic. You know what I mean? People go, "Calm down. I know you want to help, but all above." So I did that. So we eventually, the day rolled to a close. I think after 3 days, much to the delight of everyone. That's no reflection. No one wanted to be there. They all do. It's a great crowd, full of wonderful, colourful characters. This is often the way in this arena that I found myself in. Oh, what a menagerie of characters! But yeah, 3 days. Okay. So off we went, said goodbye to everyone, rushed out. Isn't it strange what I was saying about not rushing? 2 people head out the door and off they went and down they went, 2 of my mates, filmed down, and then I waited around for Pepper Pot, as I'm one to do. Spider Monkey and Captain Oates. By the way, Spider Monkey's mother, Spider Mummy, gave me a free bottle of aftershave today via the monkey. Very nice of her that was, I thought. Cheer me right up. But they've gone off, so as Pepper Potts leaving, she's so good is she at doing things only halfway that she put half a jacket on, she got a bag on this shoulder, she's halfway picking a bag up, halfway through writing something, and still leaving the building at the same time and talking to me. Incredible, absolutely incredible. But she's been saying how much she's enjoyed being around me at the moment. How lovely to have someone who enjoys your company. A rarity for me, certainly during the end of my using and drinking, because if anyone would have enjoyed my company, so that's a refreshing change. But out we've gone, shouting up, God Almighty, it's hard to explain. Half of her clothes all were dragged off one side, leaving and shouting, saying goodbye to everyone, with the tutors going, lovely to see you, go, we want to go home, get out. So off we went, down, and so this is the point I'm making about not rushing, because these two have gone off their heads. Oh, so, well, we'll never make it airing down. Me and Peppers just floated down there, you know, a slow perambulation. Strolled onto the train and sat there, and we had that moment on the train journey back home. We just had that wonderful, slightly hysterical humour that kicks in. You know, when you're overtired and you're just sort of laughing about anything, the stupidest things. You know, just chuckling away up. It's what I would like to call. I had a friend of mine, and when his two sons used to play up, his young sons used to say, "You've got silly tied. You've got silly tied, boys. You're silly tied." We were silly tied, but we made it back. Nonetheless, I've got a part of the evening to myself this evening, because the radiant joy of my life, that is my fiancée. It's too hot put in the bag today, isn't it? She'll watch it back. It's all brownie points. She's off out. Only at some team building event for the company she works for. So she'll be doing that. I will be back on the Chain Gang tomorrow. I'll probably have to speak to you early doors as opposed to at the end of the day, because we've got all sorts going on, and it might not be possible to get this thing out. In due course, we'll work it out as we go. But anyway, so a nice mixed day. I like a day where I take a message from it. I tend to do that. The Lord is working in that way for me at the moment. I don't know. Maybe I'm just taking that out of it. But whatever it is, I seem to be getting messages delivered to me by the universe every day. And today's one was the importance of keeping an eye out for, you know, those who relapse. And keep an eye on the potential of you doing it yourself, because I'm at risk as much as the next man, and woe betide if I forget that. So I'll leave you be. I'll chuck a couple of things at you. What are you going to chuck at me? It's peace and love. Take them, use them as you will, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow, probably in the morning. See you later. Bye bye.